na yeto abawie enyina ye hwe animu se niema hodo a mampani ora John Dramani Mahama Ghana fo ato aba edi ama no obasesa niema akoyie baba asase ye kase no nsama ye tete no enemi aye hunu no erabe a akwakoya ayem hihie se obekae a enhyase emfa emfiri okona se okokoto T-bill so ho ebia wanya sika kakra na wadwen ne se ebia do bakwa koto treasury bill na mfaso kakra abaso edi ama His Excellency the President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo then the former president Ebekono is around 28% and na oko na okoto a bosumi bia na yede ama ene ya kasei abafom ama asase ye kasei no zenenam 18 ho baby na we nyina no ede na akofa ba enche yebekwa homa no so na yakwa kotimi akodi sankomo no na ya hweti se obia wo sika ewo ho na so de kwa koto treasure bill a mfaso a obenya no minia no wasan adwene ho bio sanse ebo no abafom na wo de we toto haircut a ekoso a na omanfo dodo no ane aban atwa mu no nya adwene no a esipai we no akwakoye se osika botene no de onsa beka na mo mfaso a ebeba so de ama no yakati bi e de afiri so yakati bi de afiri so ade ha adwene se oto na bosum ne so na wanye rollover na bia wadwene ne se meyi na esika botene no so ho na masa yi memfaso na ka ho a wo de kwa obesa ba no miniana enye ne awunya ne bio ba na eba fom na dia na akofa sa se ni ede abazempa ba yam kwanim ye kwa ma no so ne bisa nkomo no na inform yo manfo no abo matumi ate ase die ntia sa de no atimi akoso na ye kasa minority for aye ensentrofo nhyiamu afa ho ya enche be kwa ma no so ne bisa nkomo no na ya hwedie ntia sa de we atimi akofa ba wono mu a ewo ahomegye mu pensioners na dodo no anodo sika T-bill ise betumi aboa ma omo ho ha omo kakra but baby aban we di nam no asem a ha adwen na enche ye be bisa nkomo
ma me no hyase mfamfi national security containers a wono mo echeye no se sika kokko eni sika nkasa ewo mu a na alaji bi fie na na esi no sansem na kwakosi sei besi na me ne wo kasei dia na Ghana fo atie wo sansem no ho akama ya sansem no ebu akogu Baya besi na me no kase sasem no ebokogu a Ghana for pesasem no ho anuye besi na me no kase se nipa na ye bo nidi se alaji bi no kura oye hwan so wo he yenim containers na access ka ye hu wo mu na ye se bi ye fake no kura besi na se sika no kura so wo he ye hu Tesi bisa ban ne se sansam na kwakoti sei
amanfo bakrom na onim se ya ma bakrom wi de na kire se edu ho kiti ya flyers
asa poaso chino
e boba gidi
ka ba gise
yo MPP aban mu akromfo ne ya chibie container gold ne se dollars ne fake sika na ho kiri afa eni so tie na ban sa de no wo he a adane asem foforo ye bisa se ebepem nne ada na ban kansa asem no ho hwe ho na container ne ye ne dia sika na wo mu no wo he na ada na ban enka ho hwe
asat na kwa me question ba kwa na bisa se sika na wo mu kura papa na wo na ya he fake na wo mu so kura na no so kura kasa wo kan ya bondo ahe box ahe besi na ye nte wo hwe besi na me no kasa ye nte wo hwe question ba kwa bisa se ensanka ye NDC for na wo opposition na MPP aban na breast national security for years operation ya anka besi ne anka ba babies with sharp tibia anka nsama koma ka okrom ha koma ka de dwale mpanyimfo bia yensusu dakra ye beti omudi nyina wom nanso besi na me no kasai asem yente wo he ye bisa national security minister ye bisa security apparatus ye bisa besi na me no kasai containers amuko wo se si obi fie no efie no ye owura efie no wura ne ye ho adea who is the owner of the house besinne ye da to bisa wansem aye di ajudi efise ya no okrom yanum abakrom yanum bakrom so dia enye bibia na yehu dede enye bibia na yebeti wasem yebe ni digidi dia chese ye mo bi subo ase ye kama na ye kwa se obi na aban bi na ase ni hu ahina abanda da bi na ase ni ye do ntansa ba chiche no ebe kwakọ wie che no di apaso ti ajo
minia enya nwanwa obi asem o se nwanwa enya nwanwa se aban ye wo so yi NDC aban ya wo so eniema hodo a wode agu akwebo na ya se container sika ayemuma container gold ayemuma ya chi krom ha sei eba pem se ye kasai yentimi nufu wo man no se container na ya chi ye no sika na ewo ma ya se fake no na eye sei sika dodo na enye fake na eye sei gold na ya se eye fake na eye sei nia na eye papa ewo na eye sei asema si na ne dia nia de na kwa akogina Accra High Court number 2 number 3 ana number 10 judge we e na ebi asem no charge say nia de abo mo aba na da pem ne yanti asem no na aircraft here by quickly philosopher su kwache aba ye central function na minority for kasa e be fa container no Reverend Tim Fodro e be kasa na yenti kakra
on national security's raid on 12 containers containing gold and cash. On February 9, 2025, National Security conducted a major raid on a warehouse in Sapiman in the South Municipality in Accra, where they uncovered 12 20-foot containers filled with gold bars and unspecified amount of cash in various denominations of US dollars and Ghana cedis, worth over several billions of dollars. This operation was widely carried by various media outlets in Ghana. Nearly 2 months after this operation, National Security has failed to brief the public on the status of their investigation relating to the culprits behind the billions of gold and cash stashed in the 12 containers, and failed to disclose the actual quantity of gold and the specific amount of money retrieved during the operation and what the state intends to do with the gold and cash currently in the custody of National Security. We demand accountability. We demand National Security to give account of the gold bars and the cash retrieved and what they intend to do with it. The Minority Caucus, as responsible opposition as we are, in absolute circumspection, have been patient and given reasonably 2 clear months for National Security to communicate the status of their investigation with the public, albeit without any information from National Security. The legitimate question Ghanaians are asking is, does the government through National Security intend to divert the 12 containers filled with gold and cash only to turn around to deceive the public in the end and probably call the gold as fake and the cash as counterfeit? The public is hereby assured that the mighty minority will not rest and relent until credible communication on the status of the 12 containers filled with gold and cash is transparently made to the general public by the Minister for the Interior with additional responsibility for national security and corporates duly prosecuted.
When you want MPP we afro say ade dia na ekoso ade enkrofo yi bi na ebia wa ye bi na afia wo ho no na hadani asemfofo eti ya say say dollar no kwa na fake dollar no wa hia yehu ba bi afa gold no wa hia yehu ba bi afa senka ekoba se obi foforo na ya enka example attorney general go ya dey
kwa press conference da anko achirem ka attorney general wachirem
kwa press conference
wachirem dada kwa chira che container no kura ne kala ye kura kwa chire ka wachire time omo de call ye so mo fa na hemrache awia obefa ankobe kwa chire nyina mu
wa wutie anwumre sa asemi wadwen ye ose ewo ho wa wutie anwumre sa asemi wadwen ye ose ewo ho ujiri se container no omo ka ho asem no eyampa se de na wo mu no na ye fake gold de na wo mu no na ye fake dollar ena na wo mu na ujiri se container no ankasa wa o ha said the aban di wo ho container no na ye ho idea
but us aban ba container si da pa you say your containers part 1 and 2 part 1 was some kwa yenye huyo and a containers part 2 aba under this government containers are starting ira but also container more you must be very careful a bit my ira answer yen nchiri mu bia
ira so yen nchiri mu bia yen nyina ya tikrom ha yen mpanimfo na te ha e wa ban a ya to aba e di ama no ya ye do o man ya dwapade e no o man bi bia including nipa wo ma hye ne nsa na ya nkotia wia ne anadwuma na seme na ba chi o sa anadwuma na seme kotia yes bibia se hesmas wo bibia se afa wia se a ya di na no e na minority for ebusa se sadie na si ye no containers no wo he sika na wo mu no wo he se na ye fake wo he se na ye papa na wo he na hwan na na dia san se bia ya amokochi ye no Ghana hasase bia no anyo bidia na container bia so no anyo bidia enti hwan na ye no dia na ba ne sa na bepem sabre aban ye di wo ho
na omudika asi alaji bidia alaji ni din say alaji ni oludi
alaji besuna
ana alaji na ntiko na ni ana alaji na ntiko na chi alaji mudi besinne
alaji NDC alaji NDC na wanya NDC ni anko mfa metuja wanya NDC ni anko mfa metuja eba pin sabre se ni pa ni NDC ni eno ya bibi ni anko mfa metuja
komodi aba komodi aba
alaji NDC mo me kama yanti ase but ni nyina mu no na no ada se wo we link play na ono be si water max issue a and also minority for bi hon komo na say eno betuja
on the matter of air med flights and Carbon Air private jets transporting suspected cocaine and cash. Ladies and gentlemen, on another security matter related to our airspace, the Minority Caucus calls on national security to, as a matter of urgency, make public the content of cargo suspected to be cocaine and cash transported into the country by two suspicious flights, namely Air Med flights N823AM and Carbon Air private jets Antonov and 12B, which landed on the tarmac of Kotoka International Airport in March 2025 from Gran Canaria, an island of Spain, and departed to the same Gran Canaria days after their arrival. Reliable intelligence intercepted by the Minority Caucus indicates that on March 20th, 2025, Air Med flight N823AM, which is an air ambulance, and I must stress, it's an air ambulance designed specifically to carry patients, landed at Kotoka International Airport in Accra, Ghana, and remained in the country for 5 days before departing 1 a.m. on March 25th, 2025 back to Gran Canaria. Our intelligence further persists that no patient was transported by the said Air Med flights, neither to nor from Accra. There is no evidence of medical referral of or patients accompanying or on board the flights on either legs of the flight. We are reliably informed that contrary to the expectation that the Air Med flight would carry patients, the purpose for which it was designed and operates, it rather on this occasion carried suspicious cargo suspected to be cocaine and cash in various United States dollars denominations. In a related development, a private jet Carbon Air Antonov and 12B also landed at Kotoka International Airport on March 12, 2025 from the same island of Spain, Gran Canaria, and remained in the country for 13 days and departed at 6:40 hours, that is 6:40 a.m. on March 25th, 2025 to Gran Canaria. The very day Air Med flight also departed to Gran Canaria. While it is intriguing that the two suspicious flights would depart to the same location on the same day, even more intriguing is the cargo suspiciously transported by these aircrafts to and from Gran Canaria, an island known for its notoriety in drug trafficking, money laundering, among others. We call on national security to make full disclosure of the content of the cargo carried by these two aircraft into the country, as well as the cargo carried out of the country by the same aircraft to Gran Canaria, consistent with the principle of transparency.
Isabella, san komo yi aban di anu yie e di aba
anu yie ne hia me anu yie no
aban di anu yie e di aba e ra philosophy kwache a okasa e de ma aban ye office of the president e na wa ba be yi ano na yen kotie na anu yie no de ba ye no na afi yen fantoto de minority for e de e ba be tu dwa no e ho na afi yen ko yenim kakra yen ko ne kotie ora philosophy kwache ma yen tie no
Reverend Chieftaincy, who also doubles as the member of parliament for the good people of Ashanti, has made very wild claims to the effect that two aircrafts which passed through Ghana for various reasons were carrying drugs, and that was the reason why they were here. He also alleged that they were involved in money laundering, and therefore he was calling for investigations. As you may be aware, President Mama gave him the opportunity to present any evidence or any basis he has for making that claim to the security services, so that together we could look into the matter to ascertain whether there was any truth in it. I can report to you that because he knew he was peddling total falsehoods and lies, he now claims, after being invited to assist with investigations, that he was speaking on behalf of the committee that he was part of, and that the views he expressed were not his personal views. So because of that, he says he's unable to cooperate with the security agencies. I say that he was peddling falsehood because the facts as they exist vary completely from the claim that he made. When he made that claim, he was only seeking to peddle falsehood in a bid to undermine the confidence that the people of Ghana have in this government. The truth is that two aircrafts with completely different purposes arrived in Ghana, and their arrival was perfectly legitimate, and they were here for very genuine reasons. The first one is an Antonov flight 12BK with registration number CVK 7037. Now this flight essentially is a cargo plane which arrived on the 12th of March 2025. Now no plane arrives in Ghana without a landing permit. So this plane secured a landing permit with number GAF/TMAO/25/7863. Now the purpose for arriving in Ghana was what we call a technical stop. Essentially, this is a cargo flight that was destined for the European Union market. And European Union regulations dictate that some specific regulatory requirements be met before any plane of that sort can enter the EU. Now this plane originated from Rwanda in Angola. It was loaded with oil drill equipment and lubricant oil which were contained in jerrycans. It was headed for the EU market. Now, Rwanda does not have the certification to carry out the sort of requirements that this plane had to meet before entering the EU market. Now, the first requirement is a scanning and screening RA3 procedure, which is a requirement to enter the European Union. Rwanda doesn't have it. The Swiss cargo facility at the Kodoka International Airport has that certification, and they can do that kind of scanning. Whilst here, it developed an engine blade fault. Its engine blade was damaged, and then it was also detected that there was severe oil leakage. To carry out the sort of requirements that this plane had to meet before entering the EU market. Now, the first requirement is a scanning and screening RA3 procedure, which is a requirement to enter the European Union. Rwanda doesn't have it. The Swiss cargo facility at the Kodoka International Airport has that certification, and they can do that kind of scanning. Well, essentially, this is a cargo flight that was destined for the European Union market. And European Union regulations dictate that some specific regulatory requirements be met before any plane of that sort can enter the EU. Now, this plane originated from Rwanda in Angola. It was loaded with oil drill equipment and lubricant oil, which were contained in jerrycans. It was headed for the EU market. Now, Rwanda does not have the certification to carry out the sort of requirements that this plane had to meet before entering the EU market. Now, the specific requirement is a scanning and screening RA3 procedure, which is a requirement to enter the European Union. Rwanda doesn't have it. The Swiss cargo facility at the Kodoka International Airport has that certification, and they can do that kind of scanning. Whilst here, it developed an engine blade fault. Its engine blade was damaged, and then it was also detected that there was severe oil leakage, which required immediate attention. For that reason, a replacement aircraft, URCEV, with registration number CVK 7007, was brought in to evacuate the cargo. The aircraft that was damaged remained here for 13 days. That is between 12 March and 25th March 2025. After it had been inspected by aviation security officials of the Narcotic Control Commission, officials of National Security and National Intelligence Bureau, no contraband or unlawful commodities were found on the aircraft. Now, the second aircraft in question is a Hawker 800 XP with registration number N823AM. Now, this aircraft is operated by an organization called AirMed International, which is based in Birmingham, Alabama, in the United States of America. It operates as an air ambulance. Now, Air Medical International flights in Ghana are handled by Tropicana Airlines. Now, this plane landed in Ghana on 20th March from Gran Canaria, Las Palmas, Spain, having gone through Luanda in Angola. Now, it was also here for a technical stop, which is refueling and crew rest, which is perfectly legitimate activity. It was cleared to land in Ghana with clearance number GAF TWXR 252604 OFAA 0297/25. Now, whilst it was landing in Ghana, it developed a tire burst and some difficulty with its landing gear, and therefore needed to remain here to be serviced. So another aircraft with registration number N864 arrived on 22nd March with tires and flight engineers from Luanda to replace the damaged tires of the aircraft. Now, once this was fixed, it departed the Kotoka International Airport on 25th March. The aircraft was once again inspected by officials of aviation security, officials of national security, officials of the National Intelligence Bureau, and NACOC, who made sure that it did not contain any unlawful substances, as alleged by Reverend Intim Fodbo, Air Ambulance. Now, Air Medical International flights in Ghana are handled by Tropicana Airlines. Now, this plane landed in Ghana on 20th March from Gran Canaria, Las Palmas, Spain, having gone through Luanda in Angola. Now, it was also here for a technical stop, which is refueling and crew rest, which is perfectly legitimate activity. It was cleared to land in Ghana with clearance number GAF TWXR 252604 OFAA 0297/25. Now, whilst it was landing in Ghana, it developed a tire burst and some difficulty with its landing gear, and therefore needed to remain here to be serviced. So another aircraft with registration number N864 arrived on 22nd March with tires and flight engineers from Luanda to replace the damaged tires of the aircraft. Now, once this was fixed, it departed the Kotoka International Airport on 25th March. The aircraft was once again inspected by officials of aviation security, officials of national security, officials of the National Intelligence Bureau, and NACOC, who made sure that it did not contain any unlawful substances, as alleged by Reverend Intim Fodwo. So, in a nutshell, the claims of Intim Fodwo are false. He cannot prove it. That is why he is running away from investigative bodies. He is unable to provide any shred of evidence to back his claim. I urge you to be wary of a desperate NPP that believes that the best way to claw his way out of the humiliating defeat they suffered in December 2024 is to study these falsehoods under the guise of performing legislative oversight. Whilst we welcome legislative oversight and scrutiny and criticism of any sort aimed at ensuring that we improve upon governance, it is important to condemn.
Ebusia yemo akwaba na utie ora filosofusu kwache a ensembera se utie ora filosofusu kwache a enkomo no wode ebetu dwa dedi kan pa no eyensem mienu na minority for no eka ho asem mesra hwemanim na afi yentimi ni nkomo no ye eyensem mienu na minority for no ka ho asem container no ho asem mantis ora filosofusu kwache boso dabi abentia. That's the first thing since what kind of man tia dia that's the first thing I bisa se ba ne say na ensem yenu na omo ka ho asem ba ko e container any gold you say ayemu ma ene sika e America sika wi ase e sha ase anopa kwa wiemu no na e papa e kwa nwumre no NDC aban ne wo so not abeda ne fake gold any fake sika no eno wan ka ho asem eno e de di kan pa mama dua ya me sense some of philosophy kwa be kan kire nyina no wo boa if you say sansem no so na e wo se oyi ano nia etoso mienu o se owura ntim fodwo kan se enya de a obeba committee na nim na minority fo nyina na o represent wo sansem no enye no kura na enye no kura se owura ntim fodwo ne kasa no wo kasa ma minority fo nyina na adan na wo se single ono nko out na ye adwen se ono nko na emra committee na nim because se ono ne kasa yi nti ana eno nso ra philosophy kwa achete ase se opani no o kasa de ma ban edi se ba se bibia ba na anu ye eba e ya ban ne be yi anu nye wo philosophy kwa ache eno nso se otumi eti ase na de ya me wanwa ne se flight ahodo a wo ka ho asem nyina no maako miensa eno aka ho asem ebia ne ho na passenger flight dabi technical issues awo ode akoshe na wo ka no sa flight ne miensa ya waka ho asem nyina bia no na ye passenger flight dabi enti ya de Ghana ha say no cargo flight nko na wo say nya technical problem na ebe land wo ha me asema mi busa owura ofosu kwa ache ni aban ano no enti ye Ghana ha because me nso ba tima nyume no we di nkomo bebi wo airport wo Isabella wani tuya me tuya pa we so di nkomo bebi wo airport wo na I don't think say minority for no etna ase obo the press conference na eba no na wo mo nya hwehwemu emusa questions enye ne wo so mo ye ewo ye airport wo ansa na omo nsam na eba betudwa na de e nwanwa ne se ba ne sei na flight ahodo a enya problem ya se ba ko ne type aye na ewi ase no na wanya ne type pa na ne landing gear so aye dia na e ba ne se na moma na kopfo ene wono mo aka ekoye hwehwemu wo sa flight nim ofosu kwache obi an type pa e ba ne sei na moma etimu ankasa mo suspect say bidi wo munti na mo koye hwehwemu ana because you said it some man na kopfo ene wono mo be in charge koye hwehwemu ewom e ba ne say na mo koye hwehwemu yenti ofosu kwache kakra ansa ne ato aso
with registration number N823AM. Now this aircraft is operated by an organization called AirMed International, which is based in Birmingham, Alabama, in the United States of America. It operates as an air ambulance. Now, Air Medical International flights in Ghana are handled by Tropicana Airlines. Now this plane landed in Ghana on 20th March from Gran Canaria, Las Palmas, Spain, having gone through Luanda in Angola. Now, it was also here for a technical stop, which is refueling and crew rest, which is perfectly legitimate activity. It was cleared to land in Ghana with clearance number GAF TWXR 252604 OFA AA0297/25. Now, whilst it was landing in Ghana, it developed a tower burst and some difficulty with its landing here, and therefore needed to remain here to be serviced. So another aircraft with registration number N864 arrived on 22nd March with ties and flight engineers from Luanda to replace the damaged ties of the aircraft. Now, once this was fixed, it departed the Kotoka International Airport on 25th March. The aircraft was once again inspected by officials of aviation security, officials of national security, officials of the National Intelligence Bureau, and NACOC, who made sure that it did not contain any unlawful substances, as alleged by Reverend Intim Fodwo. So, in a nutshell, the claims of Intim Fodwo are false. He cannot prove it.
Example, Ryan can Intim Fodwo issue statement.
Let me ask you, dear, say, and no credit. Asama, Felix of Fusuka, say, yea, or my invite no credit, or my inviting it. Skit agency, bien, one more, or my inviting Tim Fodwo. Darby, and no credit. Any of the kind. Now, someone in tears, yes, and someone said, you know, Cassa in opposition, if you are Bemu, almost and soon to your womb. And someone in Team for Don Kumano and Nemukayano, and you 1 million of Fusukachi the buyer.
And this one is coming from Team for you. My attention has been drawn to a rather disingenuous and far-fetched response from government by Felix Ofusukwachi, and he says by Kwachi Ofusu. Kwachi Ofusu lied when he claimed I've been invited by security agencies and failed to attend upon their invitation. ATD kind on one Team for Joe production hwena yensa enkano or say Ofusukwachi invitation a woka ho asem no enye no kre obie ni ho a wafe no security or intelligence agency has ever invited me to assist them with any information I dare Kwachi Ofusu to produce a copy of such invitation. I'm still waiting on them to collaborate with me in Parliament to undertake President Mahamad's directive if the directive was not mere rhetoric coming from Intim Fodwo. Secondly, when I wrote to call for a joint security briefing which would have afforded the security and intelligence agencies the opportunity to collaborate with me and to share further information with them and receive their update on investigations conducted into the specific cases, the NDC parliamentary caucus and the government blocked the briefing and shielded the security and intelligence agencies from accountability and denied them the opportunity to collaborate with me. What are they hiding? Team Fodwo and Ebusa Sasem no. Now, in Team Fodwo statement our day about Bonteno, he says they must come again. Also, but Emudi hear me and no opening to about Bonte Becase Sasem or philosophy to actually buy and Yanokre.
Obianton some friend here. And to say a dance here first of Fusukachi walk. So my invite no new Johnny and our dog jumpers of the court, one family. Or my invite me 10 beer near dance beer or Mupebiana. Why a crowd say one no becambo. Nagana fortune, someone across no quarry woman. And to mamma in trouble of your money too, say, or my invite and Yanokre. Or man. And Yanokre, and to Fusukachi war, evidence, enough evidence you excess. The all can only invite your penny now one person of one from Nana phone. If so, penny na crowd saying some no can be a woman piano, one woman become Magana phone to quite a woman. I die no for to catch him fan of Qualinum Fama. And some of the two than 1 young fan of Bakuno Yano, Bakuno Yano, Yan, Miansan Yan. Now it's all to that. May say, yes, Shasiano, someone for our Muti 107.1 so any miniature Kramami. Oh, eti adi na otutu nsem ntokrosa ete so ofa nsam no baako na wayi ano mienu okan ye no wayi ano miensa okan no wayi ano enan no wayi ano se de be na Ghana fo betinya tiate bi se ya nwanwa se wiemu hye betinya na asem obeka ne se ne tai paaye ena obegina ha we ya asem so ka che Ghana fo we ya sama anu ya yewura Intim Fodwo dia banyina nsema waka nyina chenu anu ya Ofotukwachi betimi e dia ma Ghana fo na Ghana fo akoma tom yem e wo san nsem nyina ho ana dabi Ghana fo susu se bibia nkoyie bibi anko yie a ye hia no yie a emu odu ade akomatoye mu obeba ebe che se okọ ye wiem hye gina bia bambo mu nsam no egina brane bambo mu nsam no egina na so a de obi beka bia okine bi no sasem na yehu no kwa we mu okine bia no obi beka asem fufuro bia ade fa bia ya bi hu komo ya obetuma ka se ena no de esi yen sei ena na etie na ye say ne tai bia pai ne tai bia jo ena ye say enti ne yakwa ba bedu sei a ye kasa asem ye somu sei a ye nsoma ne yie ya nyintuma ne yie ye hia no ye mu oduro enti ade na bambo fo mpanyimfo nton sanfa fentim fojo na on fa ne evidence ena mu nyanka mo magana fo ntiase dan said you no aka no abai kasa maafo anu yie no so a eno so kwa ensisi nsamo a opanyin bi sai no so ba ya ensi so
ahun say ya sha say na me hu no renting for your statement or the about but quickly and I can say ya ofosu kwa chi hye nsem no ase no container no ene dollar no one some chese sase mu oba be kai emu no kure no ni gidie no eden ne to so yi no eba ne say e na ya de tarmac no so no ka flight eba so nyina no passenger flight bi anim sa flight ni ensa ka ho asem no ebi enu passenger flight ba kwa wo ka ho asem say na wafa cargo ya wo ka wo say yi market no de kro na fa he ba bia ode ade ni nam nwanwan e na ya ha na de ha de be fa de ede yie e na Rwanda na no kro na Angola na fa he na also oil in drums na fa he ko oil drums oil no ya cargo na intin for do say plane na ebesi won na e plane ketwa ye di nkoma nyube from airport won what say plane na e plane ketwa say what ye
metepa
what is say branch na ka say plane na e plane ketwa na say ye betumi ehunu ekwan ye fa so e ba ho a won na water mark no so no a control tower for no betumi a kire say all ban ye man clearance say wanya technical fault ana say
fault no nya kwa fault A ana fault B
ana C obosu kwa ji ba bia won nam no ya gidi enye ye fi say asam esi na no ho asem se wodi beka we ho na oka bomu a e ma asem no esi na ma no ye de dodo efise ye te krom ha e na mo beka ye ha de o mi nuanom ye ha de e na mo beka kire se container bi anopa wiemu a ye se achi ne aye flyers na ne na musa ye ni ba ye ho so se afi ade no fake we aba beka kire fake
na sa container 12 according to almost 12 containers ma container maku edu mienu photo vita container maku du emienu fa na me de ba bontin container ina hu na biye to
something fishy na smell if you say be na uni clearance na wakoso an ye man say o de ko you uni clearance na o si ya ha say na oboko company
o tu wie e hu say wanya fault na wanya ba bia say
apart from no o say o you na uni clearance na baby okofa no clearance no mbe no ye tarmac isu na company bi wo hana wo mo wo bie na masa kokwa na nsem we abatoto a kire ofosu kwa kire ya adwunu mu da ho gan na ha o ya adwunu mu da ho sa ansem ya ba ke kire enti wono ankasa to free baby ana o free no a wo se oso drums oil no wo mu no ya oil ya be fa poso we no se no aeroplane oil se so so car bie o se oil ya be kwa ya de se oil ya be kopusu eno ye cargo ena esono na wanya baby amfa na ye ha no be fa odu ha nso ena wo se ba ko wo si form na ne tie pie ye na he landing gear no so from so ba ho na fa ko si he na o de ade no nwan saa o de nwan minority for no say ade na be si ho no ye se yini na be fimu won se udie na asem na o se omoma na kopfo ene ehehefo kohwe no mkohwe no na contraband goods bia nim e bia na ba amadwin ama mkohwe ezi yankwala ni wo kuruma sei
eje na ba amadwin
ama mkohwe yesi no night bream ekobo no night bream ahmachi no night bream no na flight passenger flight ni nya na obi ani won di bia koso ho no ma obi ani obehu ma masa the answer at TFU no na bi mu no kro no an e de na wo ma adwene mu ntia mo kokko we e de na ba ya yan kwai time aka no so de cargo planes nkwa na nya fault ana aba begina ho e de na ba ya ntia ya yan kwai time aka no so de plane na e ambulance plane na eseso ofa nipa onu mom e na ho na wa beseye na aba besi e de na ba ya sa plane na wo ka ho asem no baby na odi na ni akire yi market na no wokro no wanya baby amfa nkwankwa esa clearance na ye ha no ba be ye no filosofi kwachi ma asema wo kan me mu na ho ye because omanfo ani abre ye de oman so ahye monsa se monhwe na munsiesie mrantie na tena ase enche de nkobo no
na se yenka yema na ntie ase se de na okasa e wo position ense wa ba mu no ohun se ye nsonso em nyama mienu kasa no position o ha na ni kan nsem na no kwa bie ni mu a wo push na onya evidence mfa ma no ohun sesesi o wa ba mu
ma ya mo man for nsantie bio abusuafo press conference a minority for ye normally two just plan B abesi Ghana ha say na obesi ha na be say enum according to one team for draw on behalf of the minority na on babesi ye no ye hunu say bi boni bi akoso hunu say omo offload bi dia adwe se betumi abase cocaine omo offload bi a adwe se betumi abase yesika enti aban nya no onye no hwehwemu na no na ban e de anu yie e de aba na no yie ode ba ye no sei na oyofusu kwa chi gina aban na mu ekasae
Reverend Chieftaincy, who also doubles as the member of parliament for the good people of Ashanti, has made very wild claims to the effect that 2 aircrafts, which for various reasons were carrying drugs, and that was the reason why they were here. He also alleged that they were involved in money laundering, and therefore he was calling for investigations. As you may be aware, President Mama gave him the opportunity to present any evidence or any basis he has for making that claim to the security services, so that together we could look into the matter to ascertain whether there was any truth in it. I can report to you that because he knew he was peddling total falsehoods and lies, he now claims, after being invited to assist with the investigations, that he was speaking on behalf of the committee that he was part of, and that the views he expressed were not his personal views. So because of that, he thinks he is unable to cooperate with the security agencies. I say that he was peddling falsehood because the facts as they exist vary completely from the claim that he made. When he made that claim, he was only seeking to peddle falsehood in a bid to undermine the confidence that the people of Ghana have in this government. The truth is that 2 aircrafts with completely different purposes arrived in Ghana, and their arrival was perfectly legitimate, and they were here for very genuine reasons. The first one is an Antonov flight 12BT with registration number CVK 7037. Now this flight essentially is a cargo plane which arrived on the 12th of March 2025. Now no plane arrives in Ghana without a landing permit. So this plane secured a landing permit with number GAF/TMAO/25/7863. Now the purpose for arriving in Ghana was what you call a technical stop. Essentially, there was a cargo flight that was destined for the European Union market. And European Union regulations dictate that some specific regulatory requirements be met before any plane of that sort can enter the EU. Now this plane originated from Rwanda in Angola. It was loaded with oil drill equipment and lubricant oil which were contained in jerrycans. It was headed for the EU market. Now Rwanda does not have the certification to carry out the sort of requirements that this plane had to meet before entering the EU market. Now the primary requirement is a scanning and screening RA3 procedure, which is a requirement to enter the European Union. Rwanda doesn't have it. The Swiss cargo facility at the Koruka International Airport has that certification and they can do that kind of scanning. Whilst here, it developed an engine blade fault. Its engine blade was damaged, and then it was also detected that there was severe oil leakage, which required immediate attention.
Engine damage, severe oil leakage. Hey, requirements
that this plane had to meet before entering the EU market. Now, the first requirement is a scanning and screening IO3 procedure, which is a requirement to enter the European Union. Rwanda doesn't have it. The Swiss cargo facility at the Koruka International Airport has that certification and they can do that kind of scanning. Whilst here, it developed an engine blade fault. Its engine blade was damaged, and then it was also detected that there was severe oil leakage, which required immediate attention. For that reason, a replacement aircraft, URCVV, with registration number CVK 7007, was brought in to evacuate the cargo. The aircraft that was damaged remained here for 13 days. That is between 12 March and 25th March 2025. After it had been inspected by aviation security officials of the Narcotic Control Commission, officials of National Security and National Intelligence Bureau, no contraband or unlawful commodities were found on the aircraft. Now, the second aircraft in question is a Hawker 800 XP with registration number N823AM. Now, this aircraft is operated by an organization called AirMed International, which is based in Birmingham, Alabama, in the United States of America. It operates as an air ambulance. Now, Air Medical International flights in Ghana are handled by Tropicana Airlines. Now, this plane landed in Ghana on 20th March from Gran Canaria, Las Palmas, Spain, having gone through Rwanda in Angola. Now, it was also here for a technical step, which is refueling and crew rest, which is perfectly legitimate activity.
Aqua biwo atromo. Ozugaje uradi nyame. Ze osre.
National flights in Ghana are handled by Tropicana Airlines. Now, this plane landed in Ghana on 20th March from Gran Canaria, Las Palmas, Spain, having gone through Rwanda in Angola. Now, it was also here for a technical step, which is refueling and crew rest, which is perfectly legitimate activity. It was cleared to land in Ghana with clearance number GAF TWXR252604 OFAA0297/25. Now, whilst it was landing in Ghana, it developed a tire burst and some difficulty with its landing here, and therefore needed to remain here to be serviced. So another aircraft with registration number N864 arrived on 22nd March with tires and flight engineers from Rwanda to replace the damaged tires of the aircraft. Now, once